Hello, and welcome to the third installment of the reading of the Tao Te Ching with interpretation. Verse 3. Bestow no honors, and reduce conscientiousness. Cling to no treasures, and create no thieves. Make no seductive displays, and hearts and minds remain settled. The sage governs by emptying minds and hearts, and filling bellies, by weakening wishes and strengthening bones, by leading away from pointless learning and the labyrinths of desire, by inhibiting the actions of those who know too much. Practicing not acting allows natural order to be restored. I like this passage. This is legit. Bestow no honors. So there is no need for congratulating people so much. Like, there is no one who is there is no one who's above it all, who deserves like all these honors, like, oh, praise to this person. So there actually is no one who's doing this like huge thing above everyone else. And reduce conscientiousness. So if you don't bestow honors, then you reduce the reason for people to get into contention. Like, so you're not saying like, oh, this person's so good. And referring back to yesterday's verse, it's sort of like, if you don't create someone who needs all these honors, then you don't create someone who needs like no honors. Do you know what I mean? So you're reducing that. So cling to no treasures. So if you cling to no treasures, so that's like you there's no need for you to hold on to any kind of some kind of gifts, you don't need to hold on to like tightly to the things that you treasure. So you create no thieves. So without clinging to your treasures, you're not creating that contrast, which is a thief. Because it's your attention to the potential of a thief. It's your attention to your treasure. Like, I'm holding this treasure, oh my gosh. And you're then manifesting the opposite end of that, which is your thief. Make no seductive displays. So you're not like planning to take something. You're not like, oh, this is you're not creating a seductive display. So you're not like plotting or planning to get something, to steal something. And hearts and minds remain settled. Yeah. So again, it's similar to cling to no treasures and create no thieves. So if you're not like clinging like some like jealous person to your mind, like, oh, my chain, oh, I need my chain so much, and then people look around, they're like, oh, this guy, you know what I mean, he's worried about his chain, let's take it, right? So in that same way, make no seductive displays. So you're not like, oh, like, I'm gonna go over and talk to that girl. I'm gonna seduce that girl, and then they like get nervous because they're like, what the fuck is this? This is weird. And then, without seductive displays, hearts and minds remain settled, so they aren't getting like rattled and upset. The sage governs. So the sage is governed, because the sage is, even though in the first verse it says bestow no honors, so there is like no God among men, but at the same time the sage still governs, because the sage is traveling with the way. So the sage is like nature. The sage is that middle way, that sort of great way of things. So the sage governs by emptying minds and hearts. So first of all, the sage does govern, and he does so by emptying minds. So he's sort of like allowing minds to be clear, and also he's doing all these things from before. He's make no seductive displays, cling to no treasures, bestow no honors. So he's kind of like, he's not doing any of those things. So he's not like creating like static and resistance in the people's minds. So he's able to govern. So he's not creating that resistance and static in their minds, but also not in their hearts, because he reduces conscientiousness, creates no thieves. People's hearts and minds remain settled. So he's able to govern, and their hearts are not upset. Their hearts are not, see you, buddy. Their hearts are not like worried, upset. And filling bellies. Yeah, because he's giving them something. The sage is this one who allows them to have empty minds, empty hearts, but at the same time he is giving them something. He is filling their bellies. By weakening wishes and strengthening bones. So he's weakening wishes and strengthening bones. So weakening wishes, so I believe that's like breaking down the resistance to your wishes. So you're weakening those wishes. So you're not like, oh, I wish I had a new BMW. I wish so much I had a BMW. No, you're breaking that down. You're like, okay, if I need a BMW, I'm going to align myself with a particular like style of life where a BMW manifests itself, because it just is the next logical step. He's strengthening bones. So by weakening wishes, you're actually strengthening yourself. And by strengthening yourself, you're going to then manifest what you want. So you're breaking down the resistance, weakening your wish to a BMW, and you're then strengthening your bones, which is going to allow you to work towards whatever goal that is, if it's a BMW. By leading away from pointless learning. Yeah, so it's not like by weakening wishes, you're then weakening that like wish of like, oh, if only I had a BMW. Oh, if I just had that BMW. Oh God, let me learn which BMW I really, really want. And then, so you're leading away from pointless learning. So you're not doing that. You're rather than pointless learning, you're actually strengthening your bones and are like, I'm becoming the person that I want to be. I'm becoming that person who deserves, who will attract a BMW if that's what it is I want. But then he goes on to say, so by leading away from pointless learning, so you're not wasting time ever. The sage does not waste time. The sage never wastes, does not do pointless things. Everything the sage does, it has a reason, has a meaning. So by leading away from pointless learning and the labyrinths of desire, because desire is endless. Once you get wrapped up into that, it's just fucking endless. You want this, you want that, you want everything. You get lost in it, and the more you're in the labyrinths of desire, it's like it's just fool's gold. It's all just fool's gold, because in reality, cling to no treasures, create no thieves. So there's no need for this to be in the labyrinths of desire, because it makes no difference. If there's treasures, unbounding treasures in there, it just doesn't matter, because you're not going to cling to those treasures anyway, because you wouldn't want to. You don't want to create these. That's the sage. That's how the sage governs. by inhibiting the actions of those who know too much. Yeah, you're always like cutting down. You're always like cutting to the point. Like if people are just nattering on about shit that doesn't have a lot of meaning, you're just like, okay, this is it. Like you're just kind of pointing to the way. Like, I'm the sage. Here it is. And so then the people who are like, oh geez, oh, did you hear that Billy said this to Bobby? Oh my gosh, did you hear Janie's going out with Jimmy? And so basically you're then inhibiting the actions of those who know too much. So these people who are just rattling on about this stuff, you're just kind of like, okay, you know what? This is the way. You just kind of show them how it is. And then so they kind of just shut up and they're just like, whoa, this guy's on to shit. And I'm just sitting here talking about fucking Tom Cruise and his new girlfriend. And then the sage just comes around and pow, blows you out. Practicing not acting. So it's an active practice of not acting. So I think that also has to do with like not acting on desire. So it's like, and also referring back to cling to no treasures and create no thieves. I like that. I like that part. So it's like you're practicing not acting. So you have the opportunity to like, say for example, like a woman walks by and it's like you have your instant reaction is like, oh, and you're just like staring her down like, oh, she's so beautiful. But rather you're practicing not acting. You're practicing being like, no, my path is right here. I'm doing what it is I desire. All the great things reside within myself. So you're practicing not like reacting, not acting, not straying from your path. So it's really an active practice. Allows natural order to be restored. Practicing not acting allows natural order to be restored. Yeah, so as soon as you don't look, you're allowing the natural things to play. Then you have the opportunity to be like, hey, what's up? What's your name? Right? So you're always practicing not acting allows natural order to be restored. This was a cool verse. I really liked it. I really enjoyed it. It seemed to have a lot to do with like really becoming the way, really getting into the way, and really giving you like some super practical aspects of what to do. Like, I just keep going back to that, the second sentence, cling to no treasure, create no thieves. It's really true. The treasure just kind of adorning you, and you're just like, there are no thieves. I'm adorned. And at the same time, you're bestowing no honors, reducing contentiousness. There's no need for fighting. It's like the sage governs. He's freeing up the hearts and the minds. You know what I mean? It's like the sage is really pointing to the way, and he's inhibiting wasted learning. So he's like, hey, this is the way. Pointing, because a leader points in the direction. A leader points. Wow, that's it for today. It's really cool. Tomorrow we're going to have on the program DJ Joel Frack. He's going to come on for an interview, and we're going to talk and see what's happening, see what kind of projects he's working on, shoot the shit. And until then, peace out.